can't have a conversation about kosher delis in the United States or anywhere, New York style.
But before
or
we
not.
have the Gottlieb's conversation, you also can't have a conversation about it without the bar mitzvah sandwich. You know, at bar mitzvah has nothing to eat. You know, you're waiting for them to, you know, the speeches or whatever, the entree, the main course, which is gonna suck. So you have like the challah kind of bread.
So you're interrupting me?
It's cheap, squishy challah type dough with a pickle and ketchup. That's all it is.
You happy now? Mm-hmm. Can I continue? Mm-hmm. Judd doesn't disrupt me. Gottlieb's Restaurant. There's so much information to be learned from here, right? We came to Yeshiva to learn to steig. Today we're at the Yeshiva Gottlieb's. Yeshiva Gottlieb's helps us identify distinct food memories from our childhood. You went to your Hungarian friend's house and his bubby made the cholent. That's what you're eating here, right? I need a paprikash to identify what paprikash is for my own like encyclopedic knowledge. I'm gonna come here. This is old school. Chicken paprikash. Chicken on the bone.
This is just really good comfort food. You actually can't get this at most delis. Like a good chicken braising falling off the bone, that super rich paprika, onion, and that liberal use of fat, just coating everything. It's just like, it's not even about the crispy skin. Forget the crispy skin. We're gonna take that skin, we're gonna cook the crap out of it, and it's just nothing but pure deliciousness.
This is bubby food, but not brown bubby food. This is delicious bubby food. Oh, he's even plating for me. That is Shabbos chicken when it's in the oven for all Friday cooking. The smell of Shabbos is the taste of that in perhaps 90% of the frum neighborhoods on this planet. Fricassees in different parts of the country means something else, different parts of the world, but it means all together now. This is heimische fricassee, and it's pipiks. And it's pipiks cooked for a long time. I always like to say that a pupik is the chickeniest part of a chicken.
Definitely chickeny, but it's not in any sort of offensive way.
It's not
all.
ovally, it's not livery,
Yeah.
it's a muscle. It's
like,
delicious. Kapustach?
Cabbage noodles right there.
I'm from Minnesota. I have zero reference point when it comes to like Jewish clans and Jewish groups outside of a small corner in Midwest. So Hungarian doesn't mean anything to me. Thank you for waiting. Especially when you start talking about food. The one food that I understood was distinctly Hungarian was this.
It's delicious, right?
Yeah. The flavors, the story, the smells, the history. This is something that has existed for hundreds of years from all the different parts of Hungary that it developed. This is distinctly Jewish Americana too at the same time. You can go to any frum neighborhood in the world and find an example of this probably.
Goulash. You know what I think about when I think about goulash? Pesach shalom.
What is goulash?
It's a beef stew. It's beef potatoes,
Something
paprika,
special?
of course.
So since we're old school,
Oil.
immigrant, kosher, bubby type, whatever, the beef's gonna be cooked for so long, it's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be super tender.
I want you to keep feeding me.
I was going to. I
Yeah.
didn't even expect otherwise. This is gonna have those long cooked potatoes in there. It's a texture you forget as you get older. It's the texture of childhood for me.
The whole idea here today is to understand the benchmarks. What do we consider to be like, whenever I try to shoot for something, what am I using as my comparison points? Can you make a goulash in a very different style and it'll taste like bougie? Yeah. This is goulash from the heart. Oh, what do we got? Sweet and sour meatballs?
I think so.
Ah, look, first of all, show the bounce. Show the bounce.
Oh,
So
the
the bounce
bounce.
is very important.
This is probably stuffed cabbage filling, isn't it?
It's exactly what it is, baby. This would be a perfect Judd dish. Everything but the veg.
Everything but the veg. Wedding lo mein. Tell me about wedding lo mein. You know about wedding lo mein,
So
right?
I think the first time I may have had wedding lo mein, probably the first time I came to New York for a family chasana.
Schmorg 101.
Schmorg 101. Also, what makes this wedding lo mein versus like Chinese lo mein?
The short noodles.
The short noodles, because it's meant for a small plate to eat while standing. I
would eat that. mean, I'll eat that every day, yeah. Grilled pastrami salad, so it's like cut thin and then grill it as opposed to it's sitting on a steamer. And then some fried onions. I mean, can't go wrong. We're gonna have some mustard on it, but
Yeah,
you gotta have mustard,
gonna eat this
right?
piece. I'm gonna have some mustard. Well, that's done so well and cut the right texture. This is something I miss in most, like, you know, neo-kosher trying to chase this deli kind of operation.
Yeah.
Cut it thin and steam it properly, bro.
You're a thin guy or a thick guy when it comes to pastrami?
Damn, I'm gonna do most deli.
I'm both. I kind of go both ways on that.
You are thick.
Kishka, kishka, kishka.
This
Look at
is
that.
the right kind of Heimische brand kishka, cooked, seared in the gravy. It's kind of a funny thing, like if you're in New York, the idea of a kosher deli is like, yeah, you know, the pastrami, whatever, right? If you're from Midwest, the idea of a kosher deli is probably something more like this.
Right.
This was a uniquely Jewish deli thing, even in the non-kosher world.
A lot of carrots.
Exactly, that's a carrot kishka and a high fat content. This is Jewish induja. This is sesame chicken, right? This is the idea of like wedding chicken.
Hamish cookbook sesame chicken.
Hamish cookbook sesame chicken.
This is 100% how I remember it.
This is 100% Heimish, not Chinese at all. This is the flavor memory of so many different.
It's the bar mitzvah sesame chicken.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came with me today so I can show you some good old Hungarian deli food, not just that pastrami hot dog situation.
If I'm using a flavor memory and a concept and idea to execute a dish, Gottlieb's is going to be the place for 90% of those Hungarian kosher kind of bangers.
Oh,